evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I forgot to main screen me. It's all right. Look at that. Sloppy. Anyways, welcome to the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, Season 3, Episode 47. Formerly with the paint of one lemon, but unfortunately she'll not be able to make it this evening. So we'll be missing her tonight. But so it's just G-Dubs and I. And we got some stuff to talk about anyways. We last week was real loose and lax, and we had a good time. It was my birthday show. And we just kind of hung out and listened to music. My music, because I'm a conceited bastard. We're actually going to talk about the news this episode, so let's get it. That's right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm, of course, Hickory, the Drunken Underwhelming. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 47 of the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. Vermont MVCS, Robin and Scott, Chris Rock, and Ranch Ice Cream. Oh, yeah, we're finally getting to the Ranch Ice Cream story. I think we meant to cover it like 3 weeks ago, but I can't leave it alone. We got to talk about it on the show. And Nicole said, are we taking the stalking down in Season 4? Possibly. You'll have to tune in to find out, I suppose. But man, tonight, Mr. GW Foley are going to get into some stuff. So without further ado, let me welcome him to our spotlight stage. A man I absolutely adore, a good friend that was there for my birthday show to emotionally comfort me on my birthday, as well as come out with me for dinner on Thursday night, where we had a very splendid evening. So without further ado, welcome to the spotlight stage, my man, my boy, my comrade. Please help me welcome Mr. GW Foley.
I'm the cream of the crop. I rise to the top. I'd never eat no pig because a pig is a cop. What is up, motherfuckers? It is Wednesday night, 8:03. Here, hold on. Come on. The alert's on my phone. Hey, you get to see Murphy. I changed my background. Shit. What a fucking week this month's been.
Yeah, hear that.
Like I can't believe it's almost done with. I don't know where time's going, and it's scaring me because I got too much shit to do, and I'm not doing it, and I need to do it. God damn it!
I hear that.
Fuck. There was a thought there. Oh. So let me just say, I love Hickory. I love Hickory to death. They're like, I would do so much for Hickory that people would be like, damn, that's a lot of shit. The one thing I will not do is have to listen to a fucking ukulele player. I will not do it.
That's fair.
I won't do it. We were at the birthday dinner, and the missus and I went outside for a cigarette, and we walked back in, and there is this geriatric fellow playing a fucking ukulele. I'm not sure what song it was. It was probably Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
It was a song.
Yeah. And I walked up to walked up to Hickory and said, buddy, I love you. I have to go. And he said, okay. Like, I feel bad because I really wanted to be there for his performance, but I couldn't stand 15 minutes of listening to some motherfucker on a fucking ukulele. I can't do it. Like I don't know, man. Like, maybe I'm old and I'm stuck in my fucking rock ways, but god damn it, folk music pisses me off. and ukuleles. Goddamn fucking ukuleles. Like there was a trend a couple years ago where like if you were a quirky female, that was the instrument you had to play.
Absolutely.
Was a ukulele. And I'm just like, dude, Tiny Tim did that fucking decades ago. Like, I didn't want to fuck him either. Like, do something better, I guess. I don't know. That's why I assume women play instruments is to get laid. Like guys.
Probably.
Like, yeah, like that's the only reason why guys play. That's why I learned how to play. Like, oh, I'm not handsome. I'm not good at sports. Well, I might as well play with my fingers.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah. All right. That's enough of my time. Let's turn it over to the real reason why we all gather here. Hickory, the drunken underwhelming.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. I'm, of course, Hickory, the drunken underwhelming, and it's going to be a wonderful year. I turned 36 on Tuesday. We celebrated last Wednesday. I'm going to share a little piece of magic I performed that GW hasn't seen yet, actually, because this one isn't even live on the channel until tomorrow. Very magical evening, Thursday night. It was phenomenal. GW, Tom G, Jake, my bestie, producer friend, and Phil and Mary, along with the very beautiful Mrs. Foley, came out on Thursday evening. And the crazy part is it was an open mic 15 years. It was 2 days apart because it would have been it would have been the Thursday. But yeah, technically the date was like 2 days off. Yeah, because it was a day off. So 2 years ago, that Wednesday, I had gone to that open mic, which was on a Thursday that year, 15 years before, with Jake for the first time. Or I went to the bar when I was 20, and they let me stay till midnight when I turned 21. And people let me drinks, and it was super cool, but it was the first time I ever played at an open mic with other musicians other than like a few times when I was a younger kid playing. And I wrote a couple songs, and Jake came over and learned them before we went, and we went to this open mic and met a bunch of musician friends that ended up changing our lives forever. And thank you, Nick. Nick said, "Happy birthday! Love the shirt the missus made for you." Yes, thank you. They're up available on the on my store now, which is just a spring store with some of my logos and stuff up on it. Blenda said, "Hey, GW and Hickory, what's going on, Blenda? Nice to see you." Nick said, "What's up, fuckers? Long time. I have harassed you, bitches. Yes, we miss you, sir." Skidmorrow said, "Sup, Hickory and GW.
What's up, Skidmorrow?
Good to see you, Skidmorrow." Nick said, "The music videos are fire. Thank you, brother. More to come." That was one of the things I got done last week because I am not sharing it yet, but the first single and video for the next EP are finished. It's just cool. I just need to work on some album art for that one. And yeah, 3 songs on the next EP are already done. So we are cruising along. It's looking like a late April, early May release date. Haven't set one yet. Trying to figure out the last parts. Deciding if I can actually shoot anything outside before then, because the entire theme of the album is lawn care. And it looking like the only video that might be on that for that project are if we re-release Turf Type. because it's shot and edited already. It would just be putting the newer version of the song to it because I'm gonna be redoing that for the album, just to be all nice and official about the full lawn care album coming together. The first one's done. It actually started Thursday because Jake was nice enough to buy me some plugins for the audio software I use. And I just tested them out. I was a couple hours before we were going to dinner, and I was like, screw it, I'll throw a couple vocals down as like a little sample so you can hear what they sound like. And it was really catchy. And all right. And then boom, onto the following day, my wife had a headache. She was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go lay down." And I was like, "Okay." I came into the studio and literally finished the song in like 45 minutes to an hour. Had the whole thing laid out, and then, you know, recorded it tight in the next hour, mixed it down, mastered it, and boom. And then I recorded the video Monday and edited it together. And it's almost done. There's a little bit of a weird scene in there that I need to figure out. Not that the scene itself is weird. I shot it weird because it's me standing next to a window. And so it's very bright in the window. And even though I have 3 different lights on me in the scene, it was so bright that the camera couldn't pick up me much at all. But everything else is working out great. Yeah, that one is great. So Sick of the Snow. Thank you. Yes, actually, that's what the first single is going to be about, is about how pissed off I am at winter right now and how I just want my goddamn yard back. Get some artificial turf. I mean, I could, but my turf looks artificial. Like, it was that good last year. The issue is that it's under 4.5 feet of snow. It's going to be like, even if it turns 70 degrees right now, I've got a month of mud before my yard is like, we can even see it, let alone throw down anything. That's like if it were 70 today. Like, we probably have like a solid 2.5 months before shooting the yard. Anyways, I'm going to share a clip. This will be going up on the channel tomorrow. This is Jake and I live. Leave Me Alone, the latest single from yeah, and more on the way Saturday. I heard that, but the wife said it was like only like an inch or so. So I'm hoping that's true. Anyways, this is a snippet of Jake and I played Leave Me Alone, the latest single from the Same 5 Songs EP. We played 3 songs. We played Northern Nights, Leave Me Alone, and then we played an Uncle Dad and the Family Secret song, Sell Me Short, which was the first song we ever played at that open mic. F Snow. Jason's almost figured out the entire chorus to my next single. That's yeah, you're like a tenth of the way there. Anyways, let's check this out because G-Dubs missed this too, unfortunately. You might have a few cars, I got a few ARs, so you don't want to leave me alone. Just leave me alone. They were straight from the team. They said Green Mountain State, just like State Farm stairs, the reach to all eight. The home of Bernie Sanders, even if he did do it great, wouldn't it be great to see a drunk socialist over the presidency day? People from over the border, and sometimes we get you to say, or get you outside down Vermont, man, let's get that shit straight. Yeah, we got them higher taxes, paying lots on the state, and we see the bitches with the thoughts of massive for an AK. Not on common guns and all little boomers in their arms. When the police search my house, we know how patriotic we are. There's a bitch when says it was homework that I get a gold star. Trashed off the flag in my house, man, I won't get you hard. But get you a boot in the ass, and a point to your car. So I'll make this middle finger simple 14 stars. Just for my boys, and when the times get hard, we drink Vermont IPA, so we don't know who we are. Sitting in the country, back for the monkeys. You let them get us down. Stepping out some better, home on the long trail. Where I call my hometown, working hard like my father, drinking all the water. A place that I can call my home. You might have a few cars, I got a few ARs, so you don't want to leave me alone. I'm from Vermont, I do not want to stay alone. So yeah, I figured I'd share a little quick clip of that.
Nice.
And I'll go back and I'll pull up a clip of Sell Me Short as well, because that was really cool to play. The first song I ever played at an open mic there, again 15 years later, was kind of a trip. It was wild because we saw a lot of people there that were there 15 years ago when I first went out, and that's wild too. It was like Holy crap. Yeah, those people are still around. It's amazing the amount of awesome talent that came out. I mean, other than a ukulele. Jason said fire. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Is that GW singing?
No.
Nick said I'm referring to 1 inch. Yes, that's Saturday here. Oh, Marcy's back. Marcy, welcome. She said, hey folks, I just got back from the doctor. No amputation, at least not now. Yippee. That's amazing to hear. I'm glad that's sounds like good news. Skamara said, cool to hear the recording through the house mix. Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, this was not that large a production. Just an open mic at the Clear. But yeah, this is a clip from this is Jake and I playing Sell Me Short, which is a Uncle Dad song. I'm pretty sure there's a lyric video up on my channel for it if you want to go check it out, like an actual studio recording. And here we go. This is Sell Me Short.
This song's called Sell Me Short. I wrote this and performed it at the first ever open mic in the fucking Clear I came to 15 years ago Tuesday. I met Sean, Doug, Rob, all the amazing boys that have changed my life. This was a song that me and this silly bastard came out there to do. That was 15 years ago Tuesday. Half a lifetime ago. Holy shit. Anyways, this song's called Sell Me Short. I've been down, never cuts and she's like you. Did I miss? You take me around the edge and you still be ready to kiss.
Yeah, for real. Oh, you got this on back.
I give you people who's written on your report. You try to catch me up, you try to sell me short. Now realize that you probably feel the beating of my sword. But I can't react with a bow, so you sell me short. Why the hell am I putting that for someone else's clothes? Is that nothing wrong? And no one's dropping down. You handed me a bow as you stood above my lap. Where am I going, sweetheart? You just stared at the map. Beside you because you're poor. You try to package me up, you try to sell me short. And I realize that you're deal with the beat of my sword. And I can't bring back to the front, so you sell me short. Scientists and silver facts rose. And every time we did this, we knew it felt the same. Cause you knew I'd come around, we just do it again. Take my hands, twist on top, build up to blame. Side you plus who's written on your board. You try to package me up, you try to sell me short. Realize that you probably deal with the beat of my sword. And it bring back with a bow, so you sell me short. Thank you guys.
So yeah, a little bit emotional there. Not gonna lie, it was a trip. Anyway, sorry for subjecting you to that. Let's get into the show. G-Dubs, you ready?
Let's do it, man.
Let's do this thing. That is right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Corsair, the Drunk and Underwhelming, along here with GW Foley, the one, the only.
That is me.
The greatest. Thank you guys for being here. Skimura said, cool deal. Yes, thank you, Skimura. It was fun, man. It was wild being out. And just to be clear, like, Jake and I haven't played together in, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 years. It was, like, the first time. Like, we've written a lot of music together since then, and we've produced a lot together, and he's had a lot of input on my creations and pointed me in the right direction and stuff, but we haven't actually, like, played instruments together. And, like, I think the last time was, like, a benefit for my uncle in, like, maybe my wedding. My wedding was probably the last time I played an actual set with Jake. And that was almost 8 years ago now, 7.5, 8 years. So that was it was like the first time we didn't practice or anything. It was just he knew the songs because he helped me produce them, and I wrote him notes. I was a nice guy. I brought a little sheet of paper with all the chords written out on it, so he had a quick little cheat sheet to look at, and away we went.
Nice.
Gotta love open mic. But before we get into the show, it's as always, it's time to listen to tonight's sponsor. You ready?
Let's do it.
The Drunk and Under Quarantine Show presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Podcast Host that only has 4 viewers.
Mr. Podcast Host that only has 4 viewers.
While many have started podcasts and given up along the quarantine trail, you said, no, I'm going to keep going, no matter how many few viewers we have.
It's too late to quit now.
You thought it would be a great idea to take the world's greatest pandemic and turn it into a little joke for your show, didn't you?
You insensitive bastards.
You made jokes about the vaccine. Check. Masks. Check. The next pandemic. Double check.
Oh, God damn it, don't say it out loud.
So crack open an ice cold Vermont IPA, Mr. Peddler of the podcast, because you've shown us it doesn't take somebody great to be a decent host.
Mr. Podcast Host that only has 4 viewers.
The Drunk and Under Quarantine Show, Wednesdays at 8. Dude, I'd say what the fuck. I think the sponsors are taking shots at us now.
Yeah, definitely.
I love those guys over at the Drunk and Under Quarantine Show. They should keep doing what they're doing. They're ones to talk about 4 viewers. Thank you guys for being here with us. We're actually gonna keep a topic train going tonight, unlike last week where we just hung out with Matt, talked shit, listened to music. We got some fun ones because we've had to catch up on the past couple weeks because there's been a lot of there's been guests and news that we didn't really want to get into with the guest because it's like mildly controversial and like, but since Alice, the Pain of One Lemon, can't be with us tonight, we'll get into them tonight. Anyways, the first one, how the drunk is this news? The age of the Borg is upon us. The Borg. Oh yeah.
Resistance is futile.
The University of Massachusetts is warning students about the viral TikTok Borg drink after 28 ambulances were called to parties. Yeah, this was at the very beginning of the month. This wasn't even St. Patty's Day yet, kids. And ambulance after ambulance streaming to the Skidmore said, rather have 4 awesome viewers than 400 jackasses. And that's what I always say, man, is that the quality of our viewers and commenters is second to none. And I genuinely appreciate every single one because I have no idea how or why. but somehow
I'm still amazed.
It's amazing that you guys are so awesome and funny and like I find myself having conversations with people where I reference viewers of the show like they're my friends. Oh yeah, the other night on the show, like Blenda was saying, and they're just like, "Who's Blenda?" Oh, she's a regular. She's a regular on the show, and they're like, "Oh, like a guest?" I'm like, no, like a viewer that comments regularly. They're like, "She's a regular," and absolutely adore it. It's awesome.
Then I have to go around calling new listeners bots.
That was fun though. We're gonna have to get Skidmore on the show at some point here. I'll figure out, make that work. Anyways, let's get into the Borg drink. Here we got 2 chicks in green sweatshirts getting ready for St. Patty's Day early because this was March 6th. This one says Soldier Borg and Justin Borgber. G-Dubs, did you know what a Borg was?
No, I had to look it up. And what can I say? I've drank worse.
Yeah, I like the acronym, dude. A Borg is a blackout rage gallon, which is awesome. That's a fucking awesome name. That should be like it should be a band for the record, right? Like blackout rage gallon should be a maybe we're gonna have to form a band, G-Dubs, just to have that name.
Yeah.
Badass. And then all our albums could have the name Borg at the end and have different themes. You know, like we do like a real trippy space one. It's called like Space Borg. There's one about World War III and it's called Warborg. I don't know, just throwing out ideas. I don't know, something sludgy.
Yeah, Swamp Borg.
Swamp Borg. I like that. It could be political. It'd be the DC Swamp Borg. Because that sounds like a villain I would fight at the end of my comic book if I had one. Like, that's the one where I'm like calling in the Zords, man. Like grabbing the wand and burr, 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 burr. And you know, my Zord comes in and battles the Borg. Anyways, 28 ambulances reportedly called to off-campus parties at UMass over the weekend. The school is now warning students about Borgs, which are believed to be the culprit. The TikTok trend involves people mixing alcohol and water into jugs. Why? We'll find out. The University of Massachusetts Amherst is blaming a TikTok drinking fad for over 28 ambulances called to off-campus parties over the weekend. According to school officials, students on Saturday were seen carrying large water jugs that contained a mixture of alcohol, electrolytes, and flavoring, to believed what TikTokers call Borgs, or blackout rage gallons. The phenomenon has been fueled by recent viral videos featuring college students on TikTok making and drinking the concoction, though some videos referencing the drink date back to 2020. The viral drink has spawned Borg tutorials, Borg challenges, and Borg skits. Because if you need a Borg tutorial, you're an idiot. That's as soon as I saw this, I was like, yo, I know how to make that. I've made similar things before, just never in a gallon jug. Because I never wanted to look like an alcoholic bodybuilder. That was just never a thing that spoke to me, like carrying around a gallon jug.
Like, okay, so here's the thing. As a dude who used to carry around 40 racks of beer, like, I have to say that the gallon is more efficient.
Yeah, I'll agree. They just go flat, but with this, it doesn't really matter because it's flat anyways.
Yeah,
you know, it's not like it's like drinking a growler sounds like a sweet idea, and so you get halfway through the growler and it's flat.
Yeah,
like that's why you pour it into a glass. You know what I mean? It's like, because if you don't, the second half of your growler is flat as can be from opening and closing it. Skimaro said, y'all got the snow, put on some grease paint, play some Borg black metal, unlimited videos. That's a great idea, my friend. Snowborg is the album, and it's going to be blackout drunk black metal. It's going to be called Blackout Drunk Metal. I don't know. We're working on it. Kind of like PJ back in the day. PJ?
Pearl Jam?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm guessing. That doesn't make sense.
No, black metal and Pearl Jam don't go together in my head, but maybe they do. Here's an Elite Borg tutorial, which I won't play the audio on because it's TikTok. So, yeah, you dump out some of the gallon, and then you break out your Tito's with its little Christmas sweater on it. And you're going to put like a bottle of Mio. And we're going to throw a couple.
Now, is that supposed to give it like bubbles?
No, I think it's literally just for the think it's just for the caffeine, which is weak sauce. Could have gone with a way better.
Like fucking caffeine pills.
Oh,
They
those
make
don't taste
those, too.
better. So this makes me wonder, G-Dubs, did you ever read any of the Tucker Max books?
No.
Like, I hope they serve beer in hell, or assholes finish first, or sloppy
I know of
seconds,
them,
or...
but I never.
So he talked about one in one of his books. I can't remember which one. It's either first or second, which were, I hope they serve beer in hell and assholes finish first. And I'm not endorsing him. He's a douchebag, which I like. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the books. I had a good time. It's the first time I've ever been reading something laughing so hard that I had to stop reading because the book was moving up and down on my belly so much, because I was like laying in bed reading this book. It's the first time reading something's ever done that to me. So it holds a special place in my heart. Not to mention, at the age I was a asshole myself. And so in his book, he talks about a thing called Tucker Death Mix, which his buddies used to do. Let's read a couple comments before we get to Tucker Death Mix. PJ the Drink. I'm not sure what PJ the Drink is. Maybe it's a Southern thing. I don't know. Borgwa. Oh, Elevator Borg. That would be a great album. I have always wanted to make an album of elevator music. Like, it's a weird, like, completely unnecessary thing that's always been in the back of my head, and I've always wanted to do it.
Like, your songs as elevator music, or just
No,
elevator
that would be
music?
That would
general?
be really, really interesting. But no, just elevator music, like a band that's just like short, little, smooth, jazzy, really easy listening stuff, and it's just like, little. It'd be like a fairly short album. It'd be like 5-minute songs or something. But yeah, it would be literally just making elevator music, bass and drums and a little bit of keys. Samara said we would make cooler full with Everclear. Nice. Oh, PJ's Party Juice, like Jungle Juice is what we called it up here.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering if it's the same thing.
I would assume so. So Jungle Juice up here was like booze with fruit juice and fruit put into a jug together. Why are they going to the hospital? Because these idiots drink too much. And they're not ready for it. I think we'll get there. I think there might be more down the article, but I'm assuming it's because like a lot of these kids just drank too much because they weren't regulating how much, like they didn't know how much they were drinking because they just mix stuff together and don't like. Secondly, they're in college. You drink. It's what you do. It's why I'm supporting GW, drinking through his college run.
Yes,
that's right. That's what real friends do. But so in Tucker Death Mix was this thing they used to do in a Camelback, and they would mix a fifth of Everclear with a fifth of Everclear, a bottle of Gatorade, and 2 cans of Red Bull. And just put it in a backpack, and one of them would wear it under their shirt or jacket or whatever, and then they would have like shots in a backpack that they could just take whatever. That also had electrolytes and caffeine. And this book was like, I don't know, mid 2000s. So it's funny to me that they basically just created the same thing, but in a gallon jug. It's really what he was doing back then. Lightweights, lol. Yeah, Jason, I agree. Bunch of lightweight college kids. Well, it's unclear if all 28 instances were related to Borg drinks. UMass officials said they had never seen so many of these drinks before Saturday's Blarney Blowout, an annual school celebration that typically comes before St. Patrick's Day. None of the cases were life-threatening, the Elmhurst Fire Department said. The university said it's assessing the weekend's events and warning its student body about the drink recently popularized by TikTok. Going to become particularly attractive to the college-age population because people claim it keeps you hydrated as you binge drink. While the electrolytes and water do help with hydration, the large quantity of alcohol is what makes it dangerous, experts say. Consuming that much alcohol would be fatal for the vast majority of people, even if spread out over a full day. George F. Koob, the director of the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism at the National Institute of Health told CBS, it's unknown how many students actually follow Borg recipes that call for half a gallon of vodka, but doing so could turn deadly depending on how much they end up consuming. First off, that chick did not use half a gallon. She used half a fifth.
Yeah.
Which diluted out to like an entire gallon of liquid is like not that much. It's I don't want to sound like
4 drinks?
A little more than that. I mean, if you're going by technical shots, 750 mils is like 15 shots. So it's like technically 7.5 drinks, but nobody actually pours 1 ounce pours. So yeah, it's probably more like 6, say 5 to 6 drinks. Would be my guesstimation, and half a bottle of vodka. Especially when you're watering it down with 3/4 gallon of water.
Yeah.
That's a shitload of water. My concern is how much you have to pee doing something like this.
Oh, no. Like, I could see you, like, backing on a chick and being like, hold on, baby. I gotta go piss. Go outside, piss, and come back. Some dude's talking to her, and her hand's on his junk. And like, I did all that work.
You're going to get back and go over to her and try to talk, and you're going to be like, oh, wait, I gotta piss again.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of water while you're drinking. And as much as I'm all for staying hydrated, there's a point where you don't drink more water. Like, unless you want to get up and go pee more.
Pretty fucking much.
Over the weekend, multiple TikTok posts from UMass students drinking Borgs went viral in one video with almost 2 million views. A student interviews other students about the punny nicknames they gave their Borgs. Bad day to be a Borg. The UMass, the video description reads, the University of Mass and Amherst Fire Department did not immediately respond to requests for comment. I wonder why. Sons of bitches. Skimara said these kids should stay away from the evil tequila. Yeah. It'll make their clothes fall off, and then stuff will happen, and they'll have to blame somebody. Isn't that what happens in college? I don't know. I haven't been there in a long time. G-Dub, is that what happens in college?
I don't deal with that shit.
G-Dub, we should have you do some like on the ground interviews with your classmates, just asking them questions. Like we'll have the commenters comment in at one point. We'll get a whole bunch of questions written up, and then we should do a on the ground thing. Or I'll come over. You could film. I'll just like, hi, I'm Hickory from the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, and we're out here asking students questions. Tonight, just want to ask you, are you friends with the evil tequila? You know, just like put them on the
I am
spot.
afraid of the questions that our viewers would ask or have us ask them.
Oh, the Gets is here. The Gets, what's going on, girl? It's good to see you. She said, hey, friends, GW, please give your fur baby a big snuggle. Hickory, make sure you tell your wife she's a lovely lady that is your better half. Oh, absolutely. I tell her all the time. She's totally the better one in this relationship. She actually tried to give me a hard time the other day because she's like, I forget, we were just joking around, and she said something like, you know, your songs are always about this or that. There's never one about me. And I was like, I just included you in a verse like there's like 2 songs I've written in the past 3 months that reference you. Calm down. I'm not a love song guy. The fact that you get any mention is a lot, because that's I'm not a love song guy. I write songs about stupid shit. That's my and the 2 that mention her are one of the lawn care tracks called Y'all Don't Want to Know, and Fart, literally the song for the October EP about sitting on the toilet. There's a beautiful wife reference. Said tequila has this way of making all the good frontal lobe thinking go bye-bye. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's so weird how different types of alcohol hit different.
I turned into a giant love bug on tequila.
It's like the ecstasy of alcohols.
Yeah.
Either that, or it's like the steroid of alcohols.
Yeah.
It's it either makes people like freak out and rage, or it turns them into like ecstasy people that are just like, oh my God, your skin feels so good. Like, I just love everything about the way you look like water when you dance.
Your
This
eyes are
doesn't make sense.
shiny.
Like, yeah, I'm 6 margaritas deep. You're like, oh, okay. No, that makes sense. You're acting like you're on drugs, honey. No, I'm just drunk on tequila. Oh, okay. It's not like every other drunk where you're just like, oh, they're wine drunk because they're giggly, or they're beer drunk because they're chill. No, tequila's like the weird one. It goes either way. Marcy said, "Lol," in the front of the lub. So true. The guy said, Hickory can write a Powler ballad about his wonderful wife. JK. That would be that sounds like quite the challenge. The issue is whenever I write anything, the reason I don't write like love songs is everything I write that is in that vein just feels cheesy. Like, it never feels like as impactful as I want it to. Even though I'm sure it is, it's just like it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Although I did write a love song that's like a country parody for stand-up comedy that was pretty good. I should actually do that one. Do you remember that, G-Dubs?
Which one?
Girl, when you look at me that way, I know exactly what you want me to say. Girl, you got them smooth hands, rub the moisturizer deep. No, I got that smooth plan. One of us get knuckle deep. If you want a rodeo, baby, you should fist me. You don't have to say no, or maybe just blame it on the whiskey. Be my country. I love country song.
I do not remember that.
Yeah. Then there was another one about rednecks. I wrote explicitly just for stand up, and I should include it in something at some point because it was like it was about how like Vermont's this weird mixture of like hip hop, country, and hipster. And the line was like, I got that brand new cowboy. I got that brand new Marlin lever action cowboy assault rifle clacking. So if you show up unannounced, this organic homebrew ain't the only 30 I'll be racking. It was a solid bar. Yeah, I forgot about how many stupid little things I wrote just for stand up that I'm like, oh shit, I should flesh that out at some point. Maybe that would be really funny too. Skamara said, my wife don't like my songs, but I assured her none were about her. No, I have a lot of songs about girls and bad relationships, but none of them are about my wife. A lot of times they're fictional. They're like based on a real experience, but they're not. The song I end up writing is not about anyone in particular. It's usually like a fantasy video, like movie scenario of the situation, not the actual situation.
I get that.
The guy said, tequila, you either want to fight or take clothing articles off, or both. That's where the real danger lies. Dobby laughed. Gets this, Gamora, it's so funny how you can be married to someone and make fun of them to no end. It's the most complex friendship relationship. But yes, but that's also how like a lot of dudes operate their relationships with other dudes. That's a dude thing. That's like how as a chick, that's how you know your dude really loves you. It's because he knows he can't do that shit with, like, that's shit we can only do with other dudes. And I don't know how to explain it, but like dudes rag on each other all the time. And the way we bond friendship is by ripping into each other and being mean and calling each other out on bullshit. Don't get me wrong. That's not like G-Dubs and I don't just like sit around and make fun of each other when the camera's off.
Yeah.
But it's ribbing is like a totally normal, that's like a dude trait.
I think there's also like an age for ribbing. Like that when you're younger, there's a lot of that. Like trying to figure out the pecking order and shit.
Yep.
And like now we don't do that.
No, we
like,
do, but it's not mean. It's all in good fun, but it's also like we'll make fun of each other when I don't know. But it doesn't feel like we're picking on each other. It's just like it's a friend thing where like I know I can make a joke at your expense. I know when it's totally inappropriate, and you know, like we know when we should never do it. But there's also those times where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna twist the knife a little.
Yeah, chances are we'd join in.
Yeah, that's I find it to be a dude thing because like maybe it's just me, and whenever you try to bring that in with a female, it never goes well until you find your wife, and then you have the person that you can like make jokes with like that. That's not a dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a sex assault bigot. I don't know. Skamara said I wrote about others' failed relationships. Yeah, that's a good call, dude. Is writing about friends' relationships too. Don't get me wrong. There were songs I wrote about my relationships, but most of them were either fantasy or from the perspective of like I wasn't in the moment. It was like a post thing where I was looking back on it like it was like a short story or a film.
Yeah.
As opposed to something I actually lived. And I don't know. I like that degree of separation when it comes to romantic relationships and how they apply to the art of songwriting. Ode to the wife. The guy said, my husband literally farts at me when I say crazy stuff, which is often.
How does your husband have farts on demand?
That's amazing. We should have him record some sound effects for us. I'm like a dude in that way when we're cracking jokes at others' expense, and I want all the smoke. I'm very quick and sharp tongue, and I should work on that, honestly. Have you ever tried writing stand-up? Because that would be it's not great for everyone. A lot of people who are funny don't do well at stand-up, and a lot of people who are good at stand-up aren't necessarily funny. It's right, Jadevs?
I think I fall into the I'm not funny category. Like,
But you're good at stand-up.
Yeah.
Well, you get it. Like, you realize that it's like as much as everybody wants to like pretend stand-up is like super spontaneous and fun and just off the cuff and it's totally real, it's a lot more like wrestling, and the fact that everything's pre-rehearsed and scripted and ready to go, and like there are off the cuff moments, but a lot of it is scripted. And,
oh yeah.
And there's a huge difference between being situationally funny with your friends and being able to write a successful set for stage. And I'm not sure that I do well either. I'm not sure I do either well.
That's my view of it. Is I don't know if I do well. Like I always warn people that I'm terrible. So
do it because I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love it. Dobby said, Gats, do you fart back? Gats says, no. I told him one of these days I was going to fart him back, and he was like, no. Yeah.
Oh, queef on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now I said, what? That's not fair. Yeah, no, I've never had my wife fart at me by accident, anyways, or by on purpose. That's for sure. I thought of a couple of singers that'd be good for stand-up comedy, like someone works in an office environment when you reply to an email per my previous email translation, you idiot. Yes. Yeah, the issue is just like writing them in format and then and like learning the structure. That was like the biggest, much like most things. I feel like this way about music too. This is about like learning patterns and structure. Is like most things in life, and if you can learn patterns and structure, then you can figure out how things are done.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Especially with music, like music is very fundamentally patterns and structure, and it's like it's got a timing, and it's very like I don't know. The guy says stand-up delivery is hard. Yeah, but on the flip side, once you learn it, it's not. And I've seen people deliver shit that wasn't funny at all, and it was hysterical. And I've also seen people tell really funny jokes that sucked.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people fuck up their delivery like so bad that you're just like, oh my God, that joke was gold. But it was fumble, it was 100-yard pass, but nobody was there. It was just out of the fingertips and nobody caught it.
So that reminds me of this one thing that happens. So Hickory and I have seen a lot of stand-up comics.
Oh yeah.
We have seen a lot of the same stand-up comics perform the same material
many
time and time again. And so you often go, oh, they're working on something new, or they had a new tag for that. And there's times when like someone will have a joke and then the next time they go to tell it, they fuck it up so bad.
Yep.
Where you're just like, oh, that I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I hate that when they crush it and then you hear them 3 weeks later and they've written it because they thought it didn't go over as well as it did. And all of a sudden it's like a completely different joke with a different setup. And it's just, it's frustrating because you just, every part of you wants to be like, dude, it was almost perfect. Like, just go back to the way it was 3 weeks ago, and then maybe put like a little more emphasis on this part, and you were good. Instead, you scrapped all the good parts, kept all the shit parts, and then added more shit parts. And a lot of people do that, or they want to just over detail everything so bad that it's hard to follow. That'll happen too. Like if a joke lands really well, all of a sudden they add like 3 or 4 extra descriptors that don't need to be added.
Yeah.
Where it's like the successful comic does the opposite. They strip everything down to like the absolute bare bones to get the point across. That said, I think Joe Rogan is funny, but I think stand-up is weird sometimes. I agree. Yeah. Stand-up's weird on both sides sometimes. That's why it's fun. It's like being on stage with music too. It's like, it's fun to see people react in real time to you. And that's not something you get at most aspects of your life other than a job where it's like super stressful. Whereas on stage, part of you knows like, okay, I'm going to go home and like hang out with my wife and smoke a joint after this anyways. Like if this joke doesn't go over well, my career's not over. I imagine there's a very stressful level too, where it's like your career could be over. Laura said, you have to put personality in your show. Are you comment? No, I'm kidding. I was going to play it like she was talking shit about this show. I think this show has a personality. It's drunk and under quarantine.
Yeah. What are you trying to say, Mom?
Yeah, we have not changed the vibe the entire time. We are still doom-pilled. Jason said, don't get me started on this. Sounds like Reggie. Lol. Comedy, like music, requires great timing. Yeah, that's like a quarter of it. Timing, memorization, learning the structure, and delivery. Well, I mean, delivery is kind of timing, so that's not fair.
Yeah,
it's pretty simple. It's like most things. It's not hard to do. It's just doing it well is a little difficult, and doing it amazingly is like very difficult. Depends on your audience too. Yeah, that's the funny part is G-Dubs, and it will attest to that too, is walking into different crowds is completely different, and you can do the same set 3 different times in 3 different places and get 3 different reactions. Even though your delivery, your timing, your pacing, every syllable is like you could record it once and play it for 3 different groups, and you get 3 different reactions, and you have to try to figure out when a dead room is a good thing. Because sometimes it means people don't want to laugh, they're stifling it. And that's fun too, because everyone's a little uncomfortable and on edge. And then there's times where they don't laugh and it's bad. And there's times when they laugh and it's bad. Because they're not laughing at the content, they're laughing at you fucking stumbling over everything.
Yeah.
The guy said, Dobby, it's so weird. I don't toot in front of him because he has seen me birth 3 humans. It's complicated. Oh, but he has seen me birth 3 humans. Yeah, it's an interesting. That's interesting. I did a mini Pearl routine and it was great, but I had a senior audience. Oh, see, that sounds hysterical. My mom would love that. She always talks about mini Pearl. It's like a common reference for my mom. Yes, that is complicated. Yes, yeah, it's an interesting dynamic.
I never want to see someone give birth ever. Like that's on my to-do list. Like nope. If I'm no good inside the delivery room, I'll sit in the waiting room. Like I'm good.
For me, it's hard to wait for the laugh. I tend to rush it. Yeah, that's actually a lot of inexperienced comics issues at first, is they want to just. Today I went to the store and I did this and I blah blah. Like it's very like they want to like just get it out, and a lot of that like. Part of stage presence is knowing that like you've got to work at a speed that an entire crowd understands what's going on. You're not like talking to your buddy. He's not caught up on all the details yet. You're talking to a group full of strangers about a story they've never even thought about.
And you're trying to convince them to pay attention.
Ease into it. Next topic, dram shop laws. What are they and why do we care? We got one from WCAX. They say Vermont bar owners seek dram shop law reform. Some Vermont bars and nightclubs say they're hitting roadblocks when it comes to renewing their liability insurance. That in some cases, it could put them out of business. Now they're asking state lawmakers to step in. Skiers in Killington were out Friday. This was from March 10th, so week and a half, almost 2 weeks, about 2 weeks ago. Skiers in Killington were out Friday taking advantage of spring-like conditions. When the sun sets, many will hit the access road and grab a drink at live music at places like the Pickle Barrel. When I first got into this business, it was about drinking and dancing, having fun. Now it's more about entertainment, said Chris Carr, who's owned the popular nightclub for over 20 years. But he has a problem. He needs to renew his liability insurance policy, but neither his current insurer nor others he's reached out to will even sell policies in Vermont. Flat out, I will not operate without that coverage. It's like driving a car without car insurance. You wouldn't think of it, Carr said. Vermont's rules for commercial establishments that sell alcoholic beverages, or quote, dram shop laws, haven't been updated since the 1980s. Don't worry, guys. We've updated everything else to make it worse, but we have not made. Now, the only good alcohol law that we've enacted in the past few years was you can buy beer at a bar now and to-go drinks. That's pretty sweet. That was like the good side effect of the pandemic. Insurance companies rank Vermont as the second riskiest state after Alabama to cover bars and nightclubs. State's dram shop laws establish a strict chain of liability from the bartender all the way to the landlord. Plus, the insurance market nationally is hardening and companies are taking on less risk. So Vermont having the strictest liability possible, it's a risk that insurers are not willing to take, said Amy Spear of the Vermont Chamber of Commerce. Top lawmakers say it's a fine balance between giving bars protections, but also making sure that those harmed can seek damages. We're balancing the consumer protection aspect, the incentivized behavior in these establishments with the keeping establishments open, explained Rep. Martin Lalonde, Democrat, South Burlington, who this whole thing makes me furious, dude. Like, if you go to a bar and drink too much, how is that someone else's fault? You know, like, what happened to the personal responsibility thing? Fuck these people. If you're dumb enough to drink after driving, fuck you. I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for you. Like, they should be completely liable. Completely.
It's the same thing, like, if you don't hold a store liable if someone buys a six-pack there, drinks it, and then crashes.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm all for personal responsibility. I wish that we ran on personal responsibility and we taught people, like, hey, don't do this because bad shit happens.
Yep.
But, like, I don't know. I can kind of see the idea. Like, I don't agree with them, but I understand the point of having laws where bartenders need to cut people off because they can actively look at that situation and be like, you have had too much to drink.
Yep. Which, like, I think that's fine, because I think that falls on a person doesn't have should not be impelled to serve people they feel uncomfortable serving.
Yeah.
And I'm a big proponent of that. It's like, you have that personal protection because you are not a slave and you cannot be forced to do what you don't want to do. Therefore, if you don't want to serve somebody for whatever reason, you have that right to say no. Yeah. Fucked up though, man.
Yeah.
Gat said, I don't think most men want to see birthing, but when it's your baby on the way, you want to make sure the nurse don't mess up your wife or kid. As it's C-section, don't look past the blue sheet. Yeah, no, I have no interest in seeing actual gore like that.
No, I'm good.
I'm perfectly comfortable with my synthetic movie gore. Marcy said, I have never given birth. It sounds painful and embarrassing. So painful and embarrassing. Yeah, I would agree. Fortunately, I don't have to make that decision. You're cut off. Please don't forget to tip your bartenders and waitresses. Yeah, that reminds me of playing out in bands. A good front man always reminds people to tip the waitresses and the bartender. To take care of the bartender is the better phrasing. Time to stone up, Marcy said. I guess that insurance is so screwy they can decline to write coverage in certain zip codes for racist reasons. Example, companies will write earthquake around Memphis, but not because of civil unrest in the city. I don't know. That's why I don't live in cities. I will agree. Insurance is screwy, though. And the fact that you're forced to have it's really weird. I have worked in restaurants, and most bartenders will cut off people, but then they just go down to the next place. Or if they're smart, they go home and get drunk there. Marcy said the guy said, Dobby, it's very exciting to be pregnant. When it's time's come to have the baby, it gets complicated. So many things can go wrong, and you're naked in front of 5+ strangers. Yeah.
Wow. That reminds me of this one time.
Holy crapola. They have too much fucking power at the guts. I'm not sure which part. Oh, yeah, insurance companies have way too much. Dolores said there are people who sue for spilling their hot drinks they're holding between their legs while driving, and there are people who sued because their own child tripped them while running around a store because the personnel did not supervise the child. That's true. People get sued for stupid shit all the time. That being said, McDonald's coffee was like way too hot.
Yeah.
Like reasonably beyond all measure. That being said, if you want good service, don't go to McDonald's. Right?
Don't go to McDonald's, period.
Yeah. It's like people who complain about service at Walmart. Like you want a place that will take care of every single one of your needs and give you a hand job for a positive review on Yelp. Go to a small business. They will absolutely make you feel like you have the biggest dick in town. Marcia said, yes, me pregnant. Hell to the no. I'd do anything for my dog, but I'd do anything for my dog. Yeah.
I want to watch my dog give birth.
He's in that same boat. I worked risk management for over a decade, and the crap they get away with is insane. Remember the last bank bailouts, 2008? AIG got bailed out, and they're next to fail, get bailed out. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if they do, because that's been a big thing too, is who knows what's going to happen in the next little bit. Banks are failing left and right, and that's why there's so many fun stories to distract us from it. Before we get into the after show, we got to cover 2 quick ones, though. Will Smith embarrassed and hurt over Chris Rock's comments in Netflix special.
Oh, no.
Just to be clear, I don't give 2 fucks about Will Smith's feelings. I just want to put that out there. He's an asshole who struck another grown man on stage. The type of guy who gets more upset over his wife's name in another man's mouth than literally another man in his wife's mouth. Will Smith's a bitch. I don't care. I used to have great respect for the guy until this moment, and that was when I was like, you just defended the honor of a chick who's cheated on you, bro. On national television. You shut the fuck up and sit down. Secondly, you struck Chris Rock, who's a comic, for making jokes at your expense. Yeah, that's what I like to see, Jason. Fuck Will. But don't get me wrong, I like a lot of the dude's work. He's a great actor. But this was the point where I was like, okay, he's a scumbag person. That's whatever. Gamora said their ice cream machine is always not broken. There's actually a really interesting video from Food Theory about the ice cream machines at McDonald's. They're actually proprietary, and that McDonald's doesn't own any of the stuff on their ice cream machines. It's all a second company, so they have to like call in another company. Like they don't even have a diagnostic thing to read what's wrong with the machines when they break. It's wild. The insurance companies are next to get bailed out. They're not financially secure either. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and they had a bunch of fake money pumped into them because Obama made everybody get insurance. Jada Pinkett and Will Smith are stingers. I I don't know why he got mad about his wife's G.I. Jane looking haircut. She's always going to want Will to be Tupac. W said medical insurance companies are insane and out of control. They play God happily. Yeah, just wait until, medical assistance in dying is already here. Oregon was the first state, I think. Coca-Cola machines always work, though. Yeah, that's because, Coke cares about its sales. The ice cream machine doesn't give a shit. They're making their money off fixing them. Jason said, love this stuff, but now it's just loved his stuff, but now just a tool celebrity. Oh, swingers. Okay. Yeah, that's why, he literally got mad at Chris Rock for making fun of his wife while she's getting pummeled by other dudes. I don't understand what, if I don't know. I guess I'm not a swinger. If I respected my wife that little, why would I defend her? Especially defend her by slapping another grown man's stage in front of the world.
Yeah, what a bitch.
Yep.
And it's Chris Rock.
Yeah.
He's one of the tiniest black men I have ever seen.
Yeah, it's like him and Cat Williams are tied neck and neck for smallest, funniest black men. Kevin Hart's way in the back of the pack, just saying. I think it's Chris Rock and Cat Williams, neck and neck. Dobby said the insurance companies are pushing euthanasia for soldiers and cops with PTSD in Canada and here. Yeah, MAID's a thing. Will Smith is over. I'm over Will Smith, that's for sure.
I want to record all of these songs or all these Will Smith stuff. People being like, fuck Will Smith
and produce a song with it.
Oh no, I'm just thinking for my non-stage name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. We could do a behind the story.
Exactly. Take all these clips out of context.
Behind the comic, but the entire thing is fabricated.
Yeah.
Got articles of Chris Rock talking about him, from the special. That would be fucking great. Yeah, we need to do that. Oh, almost ruined the surprise. The last topic of the regular show. Here we go. Hidden Valley Ranch is here. And before the apocalypse, apparently. I thought this was going to be after, but no. Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream made by Van Leeuwen to sell exclusively at Walmart. Sounds like the perfect place for it. Hidden Valley Ranch and Van Leeuwen ice cream have a sweet and savory frozen treat for Walmart shoppers. This was on March 10th. Van Leeuwen ice cream is continuing an exclusive limited time flavor partnership with Walmart. This time the company has churned up a treat that's made in honor of Hidden Valley Ranch. The Brooklyn-based French-style ice cream company, which has made headlines for other unexpectedly sweet and savory flavors, will make its Hidden Valley Ranch by Van Leeuwen flavor available at 3,500 Walmart stores nationwide. Customers who were bold enough to try the ranch flavored will be able to find it starting on Monday, March 20th. So that's it should be out now. It also happens to be National Ranch Day. Pints of the Hidden Valley Ranch and Van Leeuwen collaboration have been made with buttermilk and flavorful herbs, much like the dressing that American consumers have come to know. Van Leeuwen's press release states the ice cream boasts the savory flavors of ranch, while also having a touch of sweetness that can be paired with salty snacks. We know that Hidden Valley Ranch goes with just about everything. Pizza, carrots, and french fries. But ice cream is a first for us, Rachel Garrison, the associate director at Hidden Valley Ranch, said in a statement. We're so excited to partner with Van Leeuwen, the expert in limited edition premium. Together, this creamy mix of savory and sweet. She continued, insider tip, top your scoops with crushed pretzel or potato chips for a perfect salty crunch. Hidden in the rumors. Can you guess what it is? If you have a mouth, we have a flavor drop tomorrow. All the comments popping in there. Yeah, that was actually a good little edit. The other 6 flavors are sweet maple cornbread, blood orange chocolate chip, carrot cake, strawberry shortcake, honey graham cracker, and limoncello cake. Sell for $4.98 a pint, which is a steal compared to Ben & Jerry's lately. Spring collection is a continuation of Van Leeuwen's exclusive rotation of limited edition flavors with Walmart. In 2022, the two companies inked a deal that brought Van Leeuwen's pizza, Kraft mac and cheese, and Mike's hot honey ice cream flavors to Walmart. Oh, dude, I didn't know there was a fucking... Oh, man, I missed the Mike's hot honey ice cream. That's my jam right there. I love Mike's hot honey.
See, I don't like honey. I'm a dork.
I like hot honey a whole lot. Insurance companies have credit scores. Contrary to popular belief, they're closely affiliated with the banking sector to monopolize pricing and reinsure each other like the banks buy and sell bonds. An ESG, maybe. I love me some cat. Katie. Might as well make a Catalina sherbet.
See, that I'd rather try than ranch.
All insurance companies are for profit and are in the biz to make money off you and me. They make deals with the wealthy cities, governments, and it's crazy. Yeah. It's the whole thing is rigged. It's as you can clearly see by a topic we're going to get into the after show. Rob and D'Angelo advised people of color to get away from white people, and hasn't been canceled, even though Scott Adams did the same shit 3 weeks ago. Welcome to Clown World, ladies and gentlemen. We will be your captains for this voyage. Thank you for joining us. And, I appreciate each and every one of you. We will be the band that plays as the ship sinks. Don't worry, we'll be here. As the guys on the Drunken Under Quarantine show said, even if there's only 4 or 5 people here, we're gonna be here. And if you don't have the money, they're happy to let you die. It's just sick. True stories. G-Dubs, you got anything you want to get off your chest before we get on out of here?
I ain't got shit.
Well, thank you for joining me, G-Dubs. I love you, brother. Thank you for
Love
joining
you,
me
man.
last Thursday as well. That was a blast. And you know what I didn't ask, and I forgot to ask, how did Thunderdome go?
I lost.
My wife was like under the impression you had won for some reason.
Because someone, the comic who won actually took a picture of Pierre and I from the audience, and I was holding up the Thunderdome trophy to show it off. And that was the one that I posted online, and everyone's like, "Oh, you won!" I'm like, no. I should have done like the more Vanna White. Like, I was trying to be cool with the trophy and hold it from the middle thing.
Yep.
And like I had it crooked, like I should have just been like this.
Yeah. Okay. That makes total sense now.
Yeah.
It got said, Dobbs. Giving docs kickbacks for prescribing poison is very unethical and evil. Yeah, there's a lot of kickbacks going right now, especially for taking healthy body parts off our youth. Jason said it was awesome. Good. Thunderdome must have been rigged. I agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. But I love it. That's why we're there. It's a blast no matter who wins, even though I agree. It's rigged because G-Dubs and I both lost, which is bullshit. Marcy said pure evil. Absolutely. Anyways, that's all we got on the regular show. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm, of course, Hickory, the Drunken Underwhelming, signing out episode 47, season 3 of the Drunken Under Quarantine show. Imploring you all to stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Most importantly, it's trying times, stay sane. We'll see you guys in the after show. Till then, drunk magician and this funny fuck out. Cheers.
Are you saying you want to show me your tits? This is a weird show.